Hey everyone, it's Zachariah, and this week I'm back in the LEGO room setup, as you can see, and my roommate actually gave me this LEGO brand power function solar panel actually. So I figured, let's see if I can solar power my motorized LEGO AT-AT. Stay tuned. Before y'all start saying stuff in my comments, yes, this is actually a LEGO brand piece. You can see the logo right there. It actually came out in 2010 in a singular LEGO education set focusing on renewable energy. And it does also have the LEGO power functions connection that you see here. And interestingly, it also, on this side, connects with the old 9-volt power system that LEGO had. Power functions is also 9 volts, but it's not the exact same. It has 4 wires instead of 2 wires. That lets you actually control the things, but you can see that it's slightly different. It's light gray and it has a different anti-stud base, but pretty much the same thing. So if you haven't seen my video on making this motorized AT-AT, definitely go watch it, but it uses a singular battery box and a singular medium-sized LEGO motor to power it to be able to walk. So after coming back to this thing after about 6 months, I'm noticing some issues with it. You can see how old the pieces are. So you can see that light gray beam right here is actually split down the middle. Same with this dark gray one. If you can see right there, it's also split down the middle. So a lot of these connections are just very old, which doesn't do well for the mechanical stresses that this thing needs to be able to do. You can see this piece is split. So that is one limitation of this thing, but overall it still works. And the reason why it fell earlier is because just something came loose because of how old it is, but it still does work. The point of the video is to get this thing to be solar powered though. So to do that, we're going to expose where the actual battery box and motor connection is. So if I take off this panel back here, as so, and then lift this up real quick. There we go. You can see in there, that's the actual battery box, and that wire right here, that's what's connected to the motor. So you can see if I turn the lever, it actually turns the little thing on the battery box. So now we've taken the wire connected to the motor and connected it to the wire connected to the solar panel. So this should allow us to make this thing walk using just the power of the sun. So now I am outside in the sun in my backyard. So let's see if this thing works. So you can see the solar cell attached here. The sun is over this way. So let me make sure this thing is facing the sun. You can see that the sun's definitely hitting it. And the wires connected to the motor, so it should just be going. I'm not sure why it's not. So let's see why that is. So there could be 3 reasons why our thing is not working right now. 1, the solar cell could not be working and not providing power. 2, the connection could be faulty and not transmitting the power. Or 3, the motor might not work and might not be doing anything with the power. However, we know the motor's working because the AT-AT worked when we just had a normal battery box. So it must be the solar cell not working or the connection not providing power. So to see what's wrong, I actually found one of these little finger lights from my childhood. You just put them around your finger and then they have a little switch and they turn on. After destroying one of these lights, we can take out the actual light fixture part of it. If this thing will zoom, you can see that it has the filament inside, and then it has these two wires poking out from the bottom. And we can connect these two wires to our wire that we have here to see if this solar module is actually providing electricity when it's placed in the sun. So we are back out here in the sun to see if this will work. I'm gonna be holding up the solar cell, and I'm going to attach this light fixture to our wire to see if it actually lights up, to test and see if this thing is actually generating an electric current when it's placed in the sun. And it is. I don't know if y'all can see that, but this light actually does turn on. If you all weren't able to see it before, here's a closer angle of this thing turning on. So after doing that test, the unfortunate thing that might be the case is that our solar cell doesn't actually provide enough power to actually move the AT-AT because of how heavy it is, just how much mechanical power you need to do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the motor out of the AT-AT and see if the solar cell can at least power that. And then if it can, it's probably just the weight of the AT-AT and all its mechanical components that's stopping our solar cell from being able to power. If it can't power the motor, then it might not even be strong enough to power the motor, and I might need to order a rechargeable nickel cadmium battery that LEGO actually has made to be able to store the power generated from our solar cell so that it can then release this power in a strong enough way to be able to power the AT-AT, if that makes sense. So we are back outside. We have our motor, and putting this thing in the sun, you see the motor does not move at all. So although it looks like the solar cell had enough power that it generates to turn on that little light, it doesn't seem to have enough power to actually move this motor. So unfortunately, it doesn't look like the solar cell is able to power that motor, but what I think I can do is buy the rechargeable batteries that LEGO has, have the solar panel actually charge that, and then use that to then power the motor. So I'm gonna try and order that, and I'm gonna try and order some spare parts also for the AT-AT so it's not falling apart every single time and getting loose in its axles. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll make an update video once I have all that going to see if we can get this solar powered AT-AT all finished. Thank you for watching, and tune in for the update.